Hey everyone, it's Noor and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 21 things I learned by 21. I'm going to be telling you guys some of the most important lessons I've learned and that genuinely changed my life. Some lessons were tougher than the rest, some lessons were harder to learn, but I believe that if you watch the full videos, you're gonna have a lot of new insights, you're gonna have a lot of new understanding, maybe on things that you haven't thought of before. And so without further ado, let's begin. One of the first lessons I've learned is get close to God and He'll get close to you. I cannot stress this enough when I tell you that if you want to change your life, if you want a more fulfilling life, you have to have God in it. You have to have God next to you. You have to have the armor of God protecting you, guiding you in order to make it in life. Because there's gonna be times where you're gonna face difficulties, you're gonna face adversities. And if you think that your power as a human being is going to be enough to be able to go through life alone, then you're very wrong. And when I say get close to God, I mean you have to seek and you will find Him. You know, God says seek and you shall find. So God is a gentleman and He will never force Himself onto you. And the beautiful thing is when you do seek God and when you're trying to search Him and trying to find Him, He will be there, you know? He'll knock on your door, but if you're not willing to open it for Him, if you're not willing to get to know Him, you know, read your Bible, put in the effort to genuinely get close to Him, then you'll be close to Him. And I do believe, and from my experience, that my life has changed when I did get close to God. It is so much more meaningful, so much better in every single way. I found my purpose. He's genuinely with me in every single step of the way. And I'll forever be grateful for that because I genuinely found the most precious thing, which is being close to Him and Him being close to me. So I recommend anybody who's watching this, if you don't have God close to you, you will never be fully fulfilled in this life. And to find genuine fulfillment, you have to have God and you have to belong to Him. The second thing that I learned in my 21 years of age is that if there is something that you're not sure that is yours, let it go. And if it comes back, it's fully yours. I remember in my life, a lot of times I had to let go of a lot of people, and maybe the circumstances that happened kind of forced me to let go of these people. Maybe it was meant for them to get away from my life at a certain period, but the people that have left and have come back, God has showed me that they are truly people who are meant to be in your life. And the people that lost me, right? Because I do believe that every single person that kind of does me wrong or something happens, it's their loss, because I know what type of person I am and I know that I'm a good person and it's an honor to be with me. So, you know, the people that kind of stepped away from my life and didn't come back are the people now I look back and I'm like, thank God they're not in my life because they were never meant to be there. So that's the beauty of letting go, you know, let go of something that you are not sure about, you know. You're not really sure if that, let's say, friendship, relationship is doing you any favor. And then if it works out in the end, and if that person makes it in your life again, then they are meant to be for you. You know, it can apply to a lot of things, maybe work, you know, maybe opportunities. Whatever is meant for you will simply find you. So just let go and then see if it comes back, then it's yours. The third thing that I learned is that don't worry about anything, pray and have faith through everything. So this is a very interesting point because it's not easy to not worry. You know, this is how life works. We're gonna get worried. The beauty of it is when you let go of all that worry, place it in the hands of God and let Him take matters into His own hands, which means pray about what you're going through. Don't worry about it. you know, because I feel like worry just gives you all these negative thoughts, these negative feelings. You're gonna have anxiety, you may be stressed out, you're gonna have all these toxic feelings that are reproducing from getting worried. So what's the opposite of worry? Praying and having faith, because when you have faith in God and when you just let him take the lead in your life, put everything in his hands, this is when genuinely you're not gonna have to worry about anything. You know, you're not gonna be afraid of anything. He's gonna take the lead, he's gonna guide your life. And this is something that I have learned. Whenever I'm going through something in my life, I always know that it's gonna be all right. Like, I always know that God is gonna make a way. I always know that no matter what, I can count on him. I can put all my worries, all my doubts, all my fears. I'm not saying that I don't have worries. I do have worries sometimes, but I always remind myself that worrying isn't really gonna help me, you know, but faith through everything is. Because faith in life is extremely essential in order to be living a fulfilling, happy, joyful life. You always have to have faith through everything and believe that everything is going to work out, and it will. So always pray about what you're going through, have faith that it's gonna work out, put it in the hands of God, and watch how everything will work out. The fourth thing I learned is believe that it can be done, and it will be done. You know, never underestimate yourself. I learned every single situation that happened in my life where I genuinely believed in myself, it worked out. Every single one of them. You know, there were times where, let's say, I had to step outside of my comfort zone. There were times where I had to present, I had to do things that I've never done before. But that sense of genuine belief, internal belief that I can do it, and the thoughts that I do believe in my own capabilities, my own abilities, I know who I am, these thoughts genuinely helped me achieve what I wanted to achieve in life. So I do believe that whatever you go through, always believe in yourself, always, you know, because you can't get into the next level. You can't be successful if you're not going to believe in yourself. I think the challenging thing is believing in yourself when nobody is believing in you. You know, no matter what the circumstances are, you believe in yourself regardless, because you have to be on your own team in order to succeed. You can't be against your own team. You can't be against yourself, because all you have is yourself. If everybody was, let's say, against me, right? All right, cool. You know, you may look at it in a way where it's like, wow, like a lot of people are against me, but I could still work towards life if I believe in me. And if I'm not against myself. But if everybody believes in me, if everybody's cheering, and I don't believe in myself, and I'm doubting myself, I'm underestimating myself, this right there is the real enemy. You know, when all the world is clapping for you, all the world is pushing you and is supporting you, but you are not supporting yourself. So this is why you should never go against yourself and always believe in yourself. The fifth lesson that I learned in my 21 years of age is confidence is extremely important. A lot of times in my life, confidence saved me. And I always mention this in my videos. Confidence is a skill. You can train yourself to be confident, you know, just like you can become better at a certain skill, at, let's say, cycling, skiing, painting, whatever it may be, even sports. Just like you can learn a skill, you can learn to be confident, you can practice, you know, because it's a skill. And I genuinely believe that it's damaging to think that some people are born with confidence. There isn't such thing as being born with confidence. It is something you acquire through life, through your experiences, through the lessons you learn. You know, you become stronger in who you are, or maybe that, you know, you become better at what you do, and therefore you develop confidence in yourself. So I do believe that a lot of times confidence genuinely helped me in situations where sometimes I was maybe doubting myself, sometimes I wasn't as skilled in certain areas. I was stepping into new things, but kind of like faking it, you know, in a way. If you don't know where to start, just fake it till you make it. And fake it until there comes a time where you don't have to fake it anymore and you embody the beauty and the genuine strength of confidence. You know, this is the beauty of it. When you practice being confident, like saying, for example, I am strong, I am confident, I'm beautiful, literally talk to yourself. I made a video about how to be confident. I speak about the topic in more detail, so if you want to see that, I will put the link in the description. Go and watch this video. I genuinely believe it's extremely helpful. The sixth lesson that I learned is that all things work together for the good. As a Christian, as a believer in Jesus Christ, it's written in the Bible that for a person who loves God, all things work together for the good. So I have this promise by God that if I love Him, if I belong to Him, if He's present in my life, no matter what happens, it's all for the best, you know? And this is the beauty of having God in your life, is that no matter what happens, even if you may think it's bad at the moment, you know, one day you're gonna look back and you're gonna say, okay, it makes sense now. And even God Himself says, you may not understand what I'm doing now, but later on you will understand. You know, it's just a lot to take in. Like, how did we end up here? How is this happening? You know, we might make it that big of a deal, but genuinely, when time passes and when you look back at it, genuinely smile and realize how great God is, because that thing, that particular thing needed to happen in order to get you into the next stage of your life, in order to shape you into the person you're meant to become. So all of the things that happen in your life, always be grateful for them and believe and trust that it is for the best. Seventh thing I had to learn is getting outside of your comfort zone is necessary for growth. So what I learned from that is literally, you can't grow unless you do things you've never done before, unless you think of new ideas that you've never thought of before. Becoming somebody you want to be without doing things you've never done before is not possible. You have to step outside of your comfort zone, meaning even when you're stressed out, even when you fear the unknown, even when you're not sure of yourself, whatever it may be, even sometimes when you don't want to do it. Because let's say there was one time where it was required of you to do a public speech, right? Let's say you've never done that before and you took that step and you did the public speaking. Yeah, it might have been hard, it might have been stressful, you know, you were nervous and all that, but after it, you're gonna look at yourself and be like, wow, like, good job. You're gonna be proud of yourself because you did something you've never done before. And guess what's gonna happen the next time? You're gonna be less nervous, you're gonna be more comfortable, and you're gonna develop more confidence in yourself as well, because you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. And you know what's gonna happen at the end? You are developing into a new person. You are gaining a new skill. You are seeing things in another mentality, where now you're not really scared of public speaking. Now you love public speaking. You never know where this takes you. And that is why, in order to grow, step outside of your comfort zone, do it, and forget about anybody else. Just think of yourself and whatever you're doing. And I just want to add, before we move into the next point, that when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, you know what's gonna make it easier? Take your strengths with you. Literally, if your strength, let's say, is good communication skills, take that with you when you're doing that public speech. If you are trying to close that business deal and you've got good convincing skills and you feel like you've got critical thinking, you know, take that with you and go close that deal. Let's say you're working with children and you have this gift of understanding, because it's not really easy to work with children. Then take that understanding with you when you go to work. So this is the beauty of it. Step outside of your comfort zone, but take your strengths with you. The eighth lesson that I had to learn is that working hard is not the key. The key is to work hard on the right things. And also to be consistent in your efforts. Now, we hear this all the time. We hear this everywhere. Work hard, work hard, work hard. But little do people know that the key is not really to work hard, my dear. Okay, cool. Like, working hard sounds cool. It sounds like you're putting a lot of work in. It sounds like you're putting a lot of effort. But if you're doing the wrong thing, if you're working hard on the wrong thing, then what's the whole point? You know, work smart and work hard on the right things. For example, if your dream is to become a businessman and you're wasting your time listening to people who aren't even successful and you're applying their advice instead of listening to somebody who has built an empire, you know, who is extremely rich, and instead of, let's say, also taking the right courses in order to become a successful businessman, you are watching pointless videos on YouTube. So things like that. This is just one example I could give. But here's the thing, right? With this example, look at the guy. The guy is working super hard. You know, he's watching all these videos, taking notes, but they're pretty much misleading and they are not the correct information that he needs to have. You know, instead of working hard doing those things, then take all that energy and take all that effort and apply it into something that's genuinely gonna help you. Also, I want to mention that the outcome you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. Now, if you're a person that works hard, good for you, and it's much better than a person who doesn't work hard and doesn't do anything, because a lot of people want to be at a certain place in their life. They want a particular outcome, but they never really get it. You know why? Because they're avoiding all the work they need to do. So this is also a very important point that, you know, always work hard, work smart, have the will to work at the right things. Lesson number 9 that I learned in my 21 years of age is to be kind to yourself, you know, and treat yourself like somebody you care about. If I were to look back in my life, there were a lot of times where I was very tough on myself, you know, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has been through this. You know, we go through a lot of stages in our lives where we speak very harshly to ourselves. Let's say we make a mistake, like, how could you? How dare you? Like, you're stupid, you're an idiot. Like, you start saying all these negative words to yourself. Little do you know that these words are impacting you negatively, because then you're gonna start to believe them, and then you're gonna be presenting yourself that way and you're gonna believe it. And that's the problem. The problem is that we should start treating ourselves kindly. Because imagine all these mean words that we're telling ourselves. If we said these things and if we treated other people that way, they wouldn't even be our friend, because this is how harsh these words are. So I learned in my life to really just be kind to myself. No matter what happens, it's not the end of the world, and I'm always gonna love myself. And if, let's say, I make a mistake, I'm like, no problem, you know, it happened, no problem. I'm gonna learn from it and I'm gonna move from there, you know, so that next time when such thing happened, I don't fall into the same trap. But doesn't mean I have to put myself down, because, like, if I'm putting myself down, then how do I expect myself to get back up the next time something happens? So this is the thing. Always just, I'm gonna say, spoil yourself with positive talk, with positive thoughts. Say, I love you. Literally, this will change your life. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, like 10, 15, 20 times, as many times as you want. You know, the first thing you do in the morning, just look at yourself in the mirror, say, I love you, because you should love yourself. How can you expect to love other people if you don't even love yourself? It always starts from within, and it always starts with yourself. Be kind to yourself, and it'll be much easier to be kind to others. Lesson number 10, be strategic and not stubborn in your ways through your journey. When it comes down to this lesson, it's very interesting, because I used to be the type of person who would do anything to just stick to my ways. Anything. Let's say there was a period in my life where I was just super obsessed with the gym, and I would not accept to even move my gym sessions, not even 1 hour, not even few minutes. No, I have to be in the gym. 10 a.m. means 10 a.m. I would sometimes even cancel with my family. Let's say they're going out, I'll be like, sorry, I can't come out with you guys because I have my gym session. Like, why? Now I look back, I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, you can always just be strategic, right? Okay, no worries. Even like sometimes something would happen, or I would be extremely sick and I would force myself out to go there, and it would make me even more sick. So the point is this: why was I even doing this to myself? Because I was stubborn. And instead of being stubborn, I could be strategic, you know? And how do I do this? Okay, cool. I love to work out in the morning, but if something's going on in my life, I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna put this extra luggage and pressure on myself just to attend my morning session in the gym. I could always go afternoon or go nighttime. So that's the thing, be strategic. You don't have to like cancel your schedule or anything. All you gotta do is just be strategic, you know, move the timings in your schedule and realize that it's really not the end of the world. Let's say I would have to make videos for myself, or I would have something on my to-do list and I would miss it, let's say. And you know what would that do to me? I will actually get so pissed, and then all the other things would just get shifted back. Why? Because of one single thing that I didn't do. So the next time, now I've learned, okay, cool, I missed that thing, no problem. I will reschedule it another day and I will continue with the rest of my to-do list. I don't have to just be super stubborn with everything I have to do. So yeah, this is something that I genuinely recommend and that genuinely taught me a lot. Lesson number 11 is changing your mindset is the first thing you need on your journey to success. And I cannot stress this enough. If you want to be successful, if you want to have all these cars, these beautiful houses, or even just like get to a position you aim to be, you strive to be, you have to change what's in here before you change anything physical. It all starts with your mindset, which means having a plan, having goals, and sticking to these goals no matter what. Which means that doing whatever you have to do regardless of how you feel, which means learning from the people who are more successful than you, you know, attending networking events, getting to know as many people as possible, surrounding yourself with people who are uplifting you, buying books to read and learning from them. All these things start in here, because if you didn't make that decision to want to change, to want to do these things, then you're never going to do them and you're going to stay in the same position for the rest of your life. I recommend to genuinely change your mindset, you know, even things like stop being lazy and start working out, doing instead of just talking. Things like this, just becoming that person of action, becoming that person that not only dreams about it, but does it. You know, being it, this is the main thing. And if you're trying to change your mindset, I recommend watching my videos. No, really, seriously, if you genuinely want to change your mindset, watch my videos, subscribe to my channel. Also, read books. See, I've got some books behind. Genuinely read books and watch motivational videos, listen to podcasts, listen to inspirational self-improvement podcasts. All these things genuinely help you. Lesson number 12 that I had to learn in my 21 years of age is pretty much working out and eating healthy would help you become the best version of yourself. And when I started going to the gym consistently, I stuck to my plan, and when I started eating healthy, I cannot tell you the advantages that come with it. You know, you're always gonna hear like, oh, eat healthy. Do you know that your gut health is positively correlated with your life expectancy? Do you know that? Do you know that the food you eat will either prolong your life or will shorten your life? Do you know that the food you eat affect how you perform, how you think, how you speak, the energy you have, you know, the amount of focus? All of these matter. If you're eating bad food, like processed food, oily foods, refined sugar, you're eating a lot of unnatural carbs, then all of these are gonna impact you in a negative way. So don't do that. Just do it. If you want to improve yourself and you want to become the best version of yourself, these are the first things you need to do. Work out and eat healthy. And obviously, you have to also organize the rest of your life. you know, because you should be good in every single aspect of your life. But this is gonna be the initial steps that are going to get you there. Because if you are not in shape and if your diet is horrible, then you're most likely not gonna have the other things figured out. So that's why I tell you, always, always eat healthy, work out, and the rest will follow. Lesson number 13 that I had to learn is finding your purpose is extremely important to have a meaningful life. And I remember before I found my purpose, I was extremely lost. I didn't know why I was on this earth. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I was just extremely lost, you know, and it was the worst thing. I would never want to go back to this stage because I had no meaning to my life. And I do believe that every single person watching this video, every single person on this earth has a purpose. And I do believe that each person has a gift as well. They're uniquely different from the other person. And so in order to live an abundant, purposeful life, you need to find your purpose. And how do you find your purpose? Well, I made a video as well about purpose. I'm gonna link it also down below. But you know how you find your purpose in summary? First of all, you pray to God that He guides you and He shows you what your purpose is, because this is what I did and it worked. The second thing is you try different things and you see which one resonates with you the most and what you genuinely feel deep down in your heart when you are doing that thing. You know, because life is more than just like waking up, going to work, coming back, you know, eating, sleeping, repeating. It's just not that. There's much more to that. There's something that needs to make you feel alive, you know, makes you feel like you're doing something that no matter how much time you spend on it, you're gonna go back and do it again with love. This is true purpose. Lesson number 14 that I learned is whatever you do comes back to you in everything. If you're kind, somebody else will be kind to you one day. If you're nice, if you know, give out positive energy when you meet people, that's exactly what you're gonna get. If you help the poor, God's gonna help you. If you give, you're gonna receive, you know? And if you give good, you're gonna receive good. You give bad, trust and believe, you're gonna get bad. This is how life works. And always, always, always do it with love and don't expect anything in return. And watch how you're gonna get the most abundant things in life. And also, like, just giving positivity, giving love, giving caring to people even that you don't know just makes me extremely happy. That's why I always try to treat others in the best way. There's the saying that says treat people the way you want to be treated. So I would always want to treat people nicely because that's exactly how I would want to be treated. Lesson number 15 that I learned in my 21 years of age is to never settle for less than what I deserve. A lot of times, you know, in our lives, we settle for things that aren't even worth our time, aren't even worth our presence, whether that be friendships, relationships, let's say a job that can't see your potential, a community that aren't helping you grow. You know what ends up doing when we do settle for these things? We trap ourselves in a box where we are limiting our potential, we are limiting how we grow. And so that is why I learned in any aspect to never ever settle for less than what I deserve, to always, always be surrounded by people that are like-minded, people that are gonna help me grow, that are good to my soul and to me. I learned to pursue things that I love because I deserve to do things that I do love. You know, I don't want to just work for an X amount of time to get an X amount of salary. Like, this is just not really what I want to do. I want to be able to do the things that I love to do while inspiring people, even in relationships. And I'm not going to settle for somebody that doesn't give me the love, the affection, the care that I deserve. So always make sure to never ever settle for less than what you deserve. 16th lesson that I learned is to trust God's plan instead of my own. And when I look back on my life, even now in the future, the best thing I can do and you can do is to put your life in God's hands and watch how beautiful the outcome is gonna be. Because I am a firm believer that God is the author of my life. He knows what's gonna happen. He knows what happened and why it happened and why things are about to happen. He is all-knowing. So if God is all-knowing, why am I wasting my time trying to perfect my life into this plan of mine that I think is gonna be good for me, right? I'm not saying don't plan ahead, but I am saying plan by the wisdom of God. Pray to God for Him to give you the wisdom needed when you're doing that plan in order to ensure that you're walking into His plan for your life, into the direction that He wants for your life. And yeah, now I look back, there were a lot of times where I planned things and they didn't work out the way I want them to. And I was very confused at some point in my life. But now I look back and I'm very happy that, things didn't work out the way I planned them to, because my plan was terrible. Because what I had planned for my life wasn't even good for me, and that is my life. Can you imagine? So that is why, from now on, all I do is just put it in God's hands and believe that He's got the best planned for me. The 17th lesson that I learned throughout my 21 years of age is to have the all or nothing mindset. I'm the type of person where if I want to stick to something, I either need to stick fully to it or I shouldn't even be sticking to it because it's gonna be horrible. I don't have an in-between. I can't be in between, and I learned that it is best to actually go for it all with all your energy, with all your time. If you're trying to achieve something, just go fully at it, fully, as much as you can. Because when you're utilizing your potential at its maximum, and when you're putting all these hours into investing in yourself, this is really the dream. Wait a bit and you'll see all these small hours, all these small efforts, the step-by-step journey that you went through, all these small milestones are gonna add up into the big, amazing reward that you deserve to get. Just always, whenever you do something, just go fully at it and see how rewarding the result is. I could give you an example, let's say you plan to get your ideal body, and instead of just going to the gym whenever you feel like it and eating whatever you want, kind of excusing it for working out so that you can eat whatever you want. Instead of doing that, you know what you can do? You can eat extremely healthy. You can put hours in the gym doing the right exercises for your body. And that right there is going to be much more significant than just partially going to the gym or eating kind of healthy, because you're not going to get the results that you genuinely are looking for. Lesson number 18 that I had to learn is that every experience you go through is shaping you into becoming the person you are meant to be. So always be grateful no matter what you go through. Whatever you go through in life is for a reason, and looking back in my lives, a lot of things that happened, all the experience had to happen. Why? Because of all these experiences, because of all these hard times, the good times, the bad, all of them, all the experience that I went through, I am extremely grateful because they shaped me into the person I am meant to become. And same thing for what's coming in the future. All the experience that I am going to have are also gonna shape me into becoming the person that God wants me to be. So always be grateful for every single experience. Never take anything for granted, because you're never gonna be able to live the same experiences twice. 19th lesson that I learned is that everything will work out in the end. If it didn't work out yet, it's not the end. And that is also why I always say your pain is not the end. If you're still in pain, it's just a matter of time, because your obstacle is not the end of the journey. It's in the journey. You're going through it, but that's not the destination. While you're going through life, always have faith that everything is going to work out, because having that mindset is going to help you get through all these obstacles, knowing that, okay, yeah, this obstacle may be hard right now. It might be a lot on me, right? That's why I also suggest you take help from God, you keep God close to you. But when you really reflect and realize that it's gonna be fine at the end, this too shall pass. Always, I have this thing where whenever I go through something, I'm like, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And what does this sentence do to you? Unconsciously, you're like already solving the problem. Literally, unconsciously, your mind is like accepting the fact that no worries, no matter how big the problem may seem, I'm gonna get through it. It's gonna be fine. You know, this is the mindset you need to have. Oh, trust me, you're gonna be in the most peaceful state ever. 20th lesson that I learned is that discipline nurtures progress, which nurtures growth, which nurtures success. It starts with discipline, you know what I mean? Being disciplined, doing things you don't want to do regardless of how you feel, getting things done. And when you're gonna look at it, you're gonna see how much you've progressed. Why? Because you've been consistent and disciplined in what you're doing. And that is going to make you grow. You're gonna grow into a person that you never thought you could become. Having reached a level because of your discipline and hard work is going to grant you success. So this formula changed my life, and I recommend every single person to use that formula if you want to be successful. And lesson 21 that I learned in my 21 years of age is to be resilient and never give up. Every single successful person you see is resilient. Why? Look, the only difference between people who make it and people who don't is their resilience and the fact that they never gave up on what they want in life. Because we're not guaranteed that we're never gonna fail, but we're guaranteed that we're gonna fail if we give up. Look, you never lose until you give up. I always say, as long as you're trying, as long as you're doing what you gotta do, and you're not giving up, then you're on the right track. So yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much if you made it till the end. I do believe that this video has so much value, so much substance, so much beautiful information that I hope it was really helpful for you. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And follow me on my social media if you want to stay updated with me. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.